Welcome to Alapow TV. Today we're going to go over what's new on Netflix for August. Let's start out with some of the older stuff that is new to Netflix, and then we'll hit some of the newer things that you want to look forward to this month on Netflix. First up is 30 Rock. Every season, that's 7 seasons of the NBC series that starred Tina Fey, Alec Baldwin, and Tracy Morgan, is now up on Netflix. Basically, it's kind of a behind-the-scenes look, comedic look into a show similar to SNL and their goings-on. Great series. Really enjoyed it. So check that out. It's now available on Netflix. Another great movie that I love to rewatch is Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks, who they co-star in this biopic of a con man who was being chased by an FBA agent. This is based on a true story, so it's really interesting, but it's very well made. Leo DiCaprio's dad plays the main character, and his dad is Christopher Walken. One of the cool things about this movie is seeing some of the early roles by Amy Adams, Elizabeth Banks, and Jennifer Garner. So check it out on Netflix. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, that comedy cult classic from 1986. Also, all 5 seasons of Friday Night Lights, the NBC sports series starring Kyler Chandler and Connie Britton, developed by Peter Berg, who now works exclusively with Netflix, is now on Netflix. So check out all 5 of those seasons. The classic Christopher Nolan epic Inception, with Leonardo DiCaprio, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Ellen Page, Tom Hardy, Ken Watanabe, Marion Cotillard, all star in this movie. I like this movie for the dreams within a dream aspect of it. Okay, I have to stop it here because we need to talk about Marion Cotillard and many parts that she has played where her character commits suicide. Let's take a look. So, starting with Macbeth, where she plays Lady Macbeth, who commits suicide off-screen by unknown circumstances. But we know it happens. It's there. In Pretty Things, she plays a dual role as twin sisters, and the Lucy sister commits suicide by jumping out of a window. Another one, Love Me If You Dare, she commits suicide along with her significant other by allowing themselves to be buried in wet cement at a construction site. This is crazy. And then there's Allied with Brad Pitt. She commits suicide by shooting herself as her husband, Brad Pitt, watches right in front of him. And right here in Inception, she doesn't just do it once, she does it twice. So there's the classic scene where she commits suicide by jumping out of a window. And then there's the scene where Leonardo is talking about how he came back from the dream within a dream within a dream, where they lived their whole lives together. So she and Leonardo commit suicide by laying on the tracks in front of an oncoming train in order to wake up from their deep sleep. It's crazy. How many times has this happened? Has this happened to other people and other actors? I don't know, but it just caught me as surprise, and I started to think about it, and I just could not believe it. Anyway, Inception. Okay, so back on the Netflix. Pineapple Express. Seth Rogen and James Franco team up once again, or this is back 2008, so they've been doing it for a while and they're still doing it, seems like. But this is an action crime comedy from Judd Apatow. So I'm sure you're familiar with it, but a stoner played by Seth Rogen is a sole witness to a murder by an evil drug lord and a corrupt cop. And so now he's marked for death. He runs for his life, dragging his dazed dealer James Franco and his supplier Danny McBride with him on a hilarious pot-fueled adventure. You almost get the feeling that Pineapple Express is a true story from Seth and James Franco's life. They probably should say underneath it, based on a true story. This shit really happened or something. Anyway, Seabiscuit. True story of the undersized Depression-era racehorse whose victories lifted not only the spirits of the team behind it, but also those in their nation. So this picture relates a moving story of friendship and devotion in rehabilitating the main character's fractured lives. And it interweaves the story of the horse and how he interacts with the jockey, the trainer, and the owner, and then the fans. and it takes place during the Depression, and how this underdog of a horse kind of helped people heal in a way. And it's a good film. It really accurately portrays the people and the events. And as I say, Seabiscuit kind of fixed us. But this stars Tobey Maguire, Jeff Bridges, and once again Elizabeth Banks. She's everywhere back then. Most great actress. So also on Netflix, The Lincoln Lawyer. This is from 2011. Matthew McConaughey stars as a wise talking lawyer. It's based on the books. Charismatic defense attorney who does business out of his Lincoln Continental sedan. I enjoyed this movie. I've seen this one. He spends most of his time defending petty crooks. So it comes as a bit of surprise when he lands a case of a lifetime for him, defending a Beverly Hills playboy who is accused of attempting murder. However, what he initially thinks is an open shut case becomes something a lot bigger and deeper. He gets caught up in. Also stars Marissa Tomei. And apparently they're going to be adapting The Lincoln Lawyer into a series. I'm not sure who's going to be playing the main characters, but I'm definitely going to check that out and keep an eye out for it when that comes out. The Losers is also out. I've seen this movie. It's a good action film. It's not great. It's not, the best epic ever, but it's a good watch. So it's an ensemble action movie about a CIA Special Forces team betrayed and left for dead. They're a bunch of mercenaries who wage war on CIA after they're double-crossed in the field and left to die. So we got Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Chris Evans, Idris Elba, Columbus Short, Oscar Giada. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, sorry. So they're on this Black Ops mission in the Bolivian jungle, and they basically get betrayed. But they beat the odds by surviving the ordeal, and then they decide to strike back and get back at the guys who tried to pull this fast one on them. This also stars Zoe Saldana, who has her own reasons for wanting these guys dead. So they kind of team up against this guy called Max, who's the guy who betrayed them all. So it's not easy, but they work it out and try to figure out to get back at him, even though time is kind of running out. So check that one out. So I'm not sure about this next one. Cooking with Paris. That's Paris Hilton. At the same time, I'm kind of don't want to go near it, and I'm also kind of like a car wreck. I can't help but look. So let's check it out. It stars Paris Hilton, and she has a bunch of friends in the kitchen who help her cook something each week, I guess. This is a series, season 1. Traditional cooking show upside down. She's not a trained chef, and she's not trying to be, but she has her celebrity friends. They try new ingredients, new recipes, exotic kitchen appliances. Wackiness ensues, I guess. I guess she has some YouTube viral videos that unfortunately I've missed out on, but I guess Kim Kardashian has a part in there, is in an episode, and so is Demi Lovato, plus many others. Okay, I have to confess, I went and watched Cooking with Paris. I watched the first episode with Kim Kardashian, and yes, it's a hot mess. She cannot act or anything. Not that I can or anything, but yet I still couldn't help myself and watch it and be amused by it in some way or another. It's exactly what you expect it to be. So in that way it delivers. But anyway, check out Cooking with Paris if you have any inclination to or just like to see accidents. I'm not sure, but yeah, I confess. Okay, so back on the Netflix now. So those are all the ones that are right now on Netflix. So the following are coming up very soon. Hit and Run, Season 1. That's a new action thriller series from the creators of Fauda. In this new action thriller, the life of a happily married man is turned upside down when his wife is killed in a mysterious hit-and-run accident in Tel Aviv. Grief-stricken and confused, he searches for his wife's killers with the help of an ex-lover. He uncovers disturbing truths with his beloved wife and the secrets she kept from him. Also, The Paper Tigers. This is a martial arts comedy featuring Cobra Kai's Yuji Okamoto as teenagers They were kung fu disciples that were inseparable. So there's these three guys. Fast forward 25 years, and each has grown into a kind of a washed-up middle-aged man, seemingly one kick away from pulling a hamstring, and not all preoccupied with thoughts of martial arts or even each other anymore. But when their old master is murdered, they come back together, and learning that avenging their old master will require conquering old grudges and stuff, and they want to go and defend his legacy. So that's Paper Tigers. Also coming out is Beckett. John David Washington headlines this movie. Follows an American tourist finding himself knee-deep in a conspiracy while in Greece and is on the run for his life. Coming out on the 13th is Brand New Cherry Flavor. This is a limited horror series starring Rosa Salazar about an aspiring film director in 1990 Los Angeles who tumbles down a hallucinatory rabbit hole of sex, magic, revenge, and kittens. As you can see, this looks really strange and also very, very interesting. So this movie, Brand New Cherry Flavor series, is either going to be really good, really trippy, or really bad, or maybe all three. I'm not sure, but it looks very interesting. Also coming out soon is another Elizabeth Banks movie called Walk of Shame from 2014. And I actually saw this recently on another streaming service. She headlines this comedy where she stars as a reporter who has a dream of being a news anchor, but she ends up, after a night of celebration, she ends up having to do kind of a walk of shame across inner city, downtown LA. But she has to get back to her job in time for this important interview, and she's lost her car, she's lost her wallet, and all the things she goes through trying to just get back in time to get this job that she's always wanted. So it's actually pretty good, pretty funny, and that's Elizabeth Banks in Walk of Shame. Next we have Memories of a Murder, the Nielsen tapes. Now this comes out on the 18th. I saw a preview for this, and you can see it here. Britain's most notorious serial killer, Dennis Nielsen, confesses to killing 15 people in 1983 over a 5-year period. He picked up vulnerable young men, lured them back to his home, and strangled them before disposing of their bodies under the floorboards in his house, I guess. Wow, that's really creepy. But if you're into true crime, this is the thing for you. So check that one out, Memories of a Murderer, the Nielsen tapes. Also coming out is Sweet Girl. Jason Momoa is this action thriller directed by Brian Andrew Mendoza. He lost the love of his life to a pharmaceutical company's greed. Now his daughter is without a mother and he's without justice. We'll see a husband vowing to bring justice to the people that murdered his wife while protecting the one and only family member he has, which is his daughter. So, really like James Momoa. So James Momoa is great. He's kind of definitely an action star. It's kind of a one note so far, but he does it so well. So check that one out, Sweet Girl. Also, the first season of The Chair is coming out. It's a comedy drama series starring Sandra Oh, who's a wonderful actor. This comes from the Games of Thrones creators David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. And it follows Sandra Oh as she navigates her new role as the chair of the English department at a prestigious Pembroke University. She's faced an unique set of challenges as the first woman to chair the department and as one of the few staff members of color at the university. So it stars Sandra Oh, Holland Taylor, and this premieres on August 20th. So last year you probably saw The Witcher on Netflix, and the second season of that I believe is coming out next year, if not the end of this year. But in between now is a animated series. It's coming up, and it's called The Witcher: Nightmare of the Wolf. It's a feature film from Studio Mir based on the Witcher franchise, but now you don't have to wait till December 17th, so I was right, it's the end of the year, to watch season 2 of The Witcher. So this will tide you over until then. And this comes out on August 23rd. It's an anime movie, introduces Geralt's mentor and adoptive father, Vesemir, Now in the series, he's this gray-haired veteran, but in this film, it kind of goes back in time. He's a young, dashing swashbuckler, earning his fortune by slaying monsters, but he's forced to confront his past and a monster that's preying on a kingdom already dealing with political discord. So check that one out. Also is Clickbait. This is a thriller anthology miniseries starring Adrian Grenier. So when family man Nick Brewer is abducted in a crime with a sinister online twist, those closest to him race to uncover who is behind it and why. So coming out on the 25th is The Old Ways. It's a horror movie about a journalist traveling to her home to investigate a story. She then gets kidnapped into a strange cult that believes she is the devil. And lastly is Open Your Eyes. This is season 1. This is a teen thriller series about an amnesiac teen trying to rebuild her life at a memory disorder center. In the steamy, intriguingly complex psychological thriller, the boundaries between reality and fantasy, past and present, are eroded. So those are the highlights for August on Netflix. Thanks for tuning in, and leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next week where we're going to go over other streaming services like HBO, Hulu, Disney Plus, and others. See you then.